What drives someone to destroy something beautiful, something shared, just to prove a point? The sun hung low over Lake Serenity, casting a golden sheen across the water, as families gathered for the annual community barbecue. Laughter echoed, children chased each other through the grass, and the smell of grilled burgers filled the air. It was supposed to be a day of unity, a celebration of summer's end. But by the time the sun dipped below the horizon, one woman's actions would turn joy into chaos, leaving a community fractured and a lesson carved in heartbreak. The event was a tradition, meticulously planned by the Lake Serenity Residents Association. Every year, neighbors brought dishes to share, from homemade potato salad to freshly baked pies. The centerpiece was the massive community grill, a gleaming stainless steel beast donated by a local craftsman, Mr. Harrow, who'd spent months welding it by hand. It wasn't just a grill, it was a symbol of togetherness, a testament to what people could build when they worked as one. This year, though, the air felt different. A tension simmered, unnoticed by most, until she arrived. Karen Whitaker wasn't a stranger to Lake Serenity, but she wasn't exactly beloved either. Known for her sharp tongue and unshakable belief that she was always right, Karen had a reputation for stirring trouble. She'd once reported a neighbor's dog for barking too loudly at 6 a.m., demanded the community pool close early because she didn't like the noise, and even tried to sue the association over a tree she claimed blocked her view. Most folks tolerated her, hoping she'd mellow with time. She didn't. As the barbecue kicked off, Karen arrived late, her SUV screeching into the lot. She stepped out, her sunglasses perched on her nose, a designer purse slung over her shoulder, and a scowl etched on her face. "This event's a mess," she muttered to no one in particular, scanning the crowd. Most ignored her, but I noticed her eyes lock onto the grill, where Mr. Harrow was flipping burgers with a proud smile. Something about her gaze sent a chill down my spine. I was there with my daughter, Lily, who was tugging at my hand, begging for another lemonade. I tried to focus on her, but Karen's voice cut through the chatter. "Who's in charge of this thing?" she demanded, pointing at the grill. Mr. Harrow, ever polite, turned to her. "That'd be me, ma'am. Something wrong?" Karen crossed her arms. "This grill's a hazard. It's too close to the tables, and the smoke's ruining my dress. Move it." The crowd hushed. Mr. Harrow blinked, caught off guard. "It's been here every year, Karen. Never had an issue." But Karen wasn't listening. She launched into a tirade about safety codes, fire risks, and how the association was incompetent. People exchanged glances, some rolling their eyes, others whispering. I pulled Lily closer, sensing trouble brewing. That's when Elena stepped forward. Elena Martinez was new to Lake Serenity, a single mom who'd moved in a month ago. Quiet but kind, she'd already won hearts by volunteering to organize the kids' games. Her dark eyes flashed with determination as she faced Karen. "With all due respect, Karen, the grill's fine. It's been inspected. Maybe you could enjoy the day like the rest of us." The crowd murmured in agreement, but Karen's face turned red. "Don't you dare lecture me," she snapped. "I know my rights." What happened next was a blur. Karen stormed toward the grill, shouting about taking matters into her own hands. Before anyone could stop her, she grabbed a fire extinguisher from a nearby station and unleashed a cloud of white foam onto the grill. Burgers sizzled and died, flames sputtered, and the crowd gasped. Mr. Harrow tried to intervene, but Karen shoved him back, screaming about saving lives. The extinguisher's chemicals coated the grill, seeping into its intricate mechanisms, ruining the handcrafted burners. When she finally stopped, the grill was a dripping, useless mess. The silence that followed was deafening. Lily clung to my leg, her eyes wide. Mr. Harrow stared at the wreckage, his hands trembling. Karen, panting, tossed the extinguisher aside. "There," she said, triumphant. "Now it's safe." But her victory was short-lived. Elena, voice steady but firm, spoke up. "You just destroyed community property, Karen. That grill cost thousands. You're going to answer for this." The aftermath was swift. The association called the police, who documented the damage. Karen tried to spin a story about public safety, but no one bought it. The grill was beyond repair. Chemicals had corroded the burners, warped the frame, and ruined the custom welds. Mr. Harrow, heartbroken, estimated the replacement cost at $120,000, a figure that stunned everyone. The association filed a lawsuit, and the case became the talk of Lake Serenity. Enter Tom Whitaker, Karen's estranged brother, who appeared like a ghost from her past. No one knew much about Tom. Left town years ago after a falling out with Karen. Now a mechanic with a quiet demeanor, he showed up at the courthouse, uninvited, to testify. His presence was the twist no one saw coming. Karen's always been like this, he said, his voice heavy with regret. She destroys things when she doesn't get her way. When we were kids, she burned my model planes because I won a science fair she thought she deserved. She hasn't changed. Tom's words hit hard. They painted Karen not as a villain, but as someone trapped in her own need for control, a woman who'd alienated even her own family. The courtroom grew quiet as he spoke of their childhood, of Karen's relentless need to be right, and how it had driven a wedge between them. For a moment, I almost pitied her. Almost. The judge's ruling was brutal. Karen was fined $140,000, $120,000 for the grill and $20,000 in punitive damages for her reckless and malicious actions. But the real sting came next. She was ordered to repair the grill herself, under Mr. Harrow's supervision, as a lesson in accountability. Karen, who'd never held a wrench in her life, scoffed at the idea. "I'm not a mechanic," she protested. The judge's response was ice cold. "You broke it. You fix it." Months passed, and the community tried to heal. A new grill was eventually funded through donations, but the scar remained. Karen, meanwhile, struggled under Mr. Harrow's watchful eye. She fumbled with tools, her pride crumbling with every failed attempt to repair the damage she'd caused. Mr. Harrow, ever patient, guided her, but I could see the pain in his eyes. This wasn't just about a grill, it was about trust, broken and irreparable. One evening, as I walked by the lake with Lily, we saw Karen sitting alone on a bench, staring at the water. Her designer purse was gone, her sunglasses nowhere in sight. She looked smaller, deflated. Lily tugged my hand. "Why's she so sad, Daddy?" I didn't have an answer. Part of me wanted to feel sorry for her, to believe she could change. But actions have consequences, and Karen's had carved a wound too deep. Elena, meanwhile, became a quiet hero. She organized a fundraiser to help cover the grill's cost, bringing the community together in a way Karen never could. Her strength reminded us that one person's destruction doesn't define a community, its response does. But the victory was bittersweet. The barbecue, once a symbol of joy, now carried a shadow of that day, a reminder of how quickly things can unravel. Karen never apologized. She paid the fine in installments, grumbling all the way, and eventually moved away. Some say she's still fighting battles in another town, still convinced she's the victim. Mr. Harrow rebuilt the grill, but he never smiled the same. And Lake Serenity? It moved on, but the memory lingered, a cautionary tale of pride and its price. As the sun sets over the lake now, I wonder, could Karen have chosen differently? Could she have stepped back, listened, and let the day unfold? We'll never know. All we have is the wreckage she left behind and the lesson that some damages can never be undone. Yendi.